But I want my stance on Young Money to be very clear. That's why the downfall of Young Money is really credited to Birdman. Let's get straight into the shits, okay? We're talking about Young Money. We don't stay talking about Young Money because, that's the best label, the best hip hop label to ever fucking exist. Let's be clear. Today, I want to get into some supporting tweets that are going to guide our conversation on the current state of the crew. There was this tweet last week that went viral. And it says, Young Money failed Drake and Nicki in a lot of ways that you guys overlook. And it got a lot of attention. A lot of people under it, of course, the barbs, all as always being negative Nancy's and just dragging. Can y'all ever just shut the fuck up for once and just listen? It says they failed Nicki, Drake is just fine. Please shut the fuck up. I feel like Nicki's the only Young Money artist that never needed Young Money. She had her own motion early on and it just got bigger. That's why she has a solid core fan base and Drake has a GP that is very fickle. They both become so majorly successful on their own that they just didn't know what to do with them. Young Money was lazy with all their artists, if we're being honest, but you can't lie. They put all the right people in the right places. There will never be another Young Money. This is the best response, the best take that I've been saying for months. And it's very frustrating when you're the first to say something and you get dragged for it, and then months later everyone is saying the same thing, like seeing what you saw. It's so annoying, and so that's why it's like you keep doing what you're doing. Just don't complain, keep talking, because if it goes like that, then you know that you're doing something right. And that's why my opinion is based on me and my facts, not nobody else, okay? Because a lot of y'all can't seem to think outside the box. Y'all have to remember that Young Money failed Drake and Nicki in a lot of ways that you guys overlook. And I wouldn't even say that Lil Wayne wasn't really given a fair chance to be a real boss, to be a real label boss, to be honest with you. And so a couple of months ago, this was on December 4th, journalist Elliot Wilson reposted a series of tweets, and it says 10 years ago today, Lil Wayne versus Cash Money. And so this was the iconic battle between Lil Wayne and Birdman about, getting his album out and getting his fucking money. So it says, to all my fans, I want you to know that my album won't and hasn't been released because Baby and Cash Money Records refused. This is not my fault. I am truly and deeply sorry to all my fans, and he apologizes. He says, I won off the label and nothing to do with these people, but unfortunately, it ain't that easy. This was all the way back in 2014. Wow, 11 years ago. It says, I'm a prisoner and so was my creativity. Again, I'm truly sorry and I don't blame y'all if y'all fed up with waiting for me in this album, but thank you. That happened, right? They ended up getting to go into court. Wayne got his money and he got his albums out and shit like that. And I hope that everything been good, ever since then. I wouldn't say I have no reason to believe that because here, the Cash Money crew is now Wayne has Louisiana Fest, taking it to different cities. It started off in New Orleans, Louisiana, where he's from, and now they're taking it all over. And Birdman is going to be a guest, as well as Manny Fresh and the Hot Boys, the flagship Cash Money artist before Young Money was even a thing, before Wayne was really who he is today. But he can put those people on his back because of Wayne, we have the bridge from Cash Money, what Birdman created, to Young Money, and that's Drake and Nicki, and that is just truly amazing. It's truly amazing the way that Young Money exists because it's really one of those only labels that do a great job of bridging the gap between the old and the young. And I think that has a major factor in how you can say that Young Money failed Drake and Nicki, because Drake and Nicki became so powerful. They became more powerful than Wayne was. How could he go to bat for them? But you remember, we got to look back at these tweets and understand, why was Lil Wayne even in this position in the first place? Remember, Wayne had to go to Jay-Z to get his taxes paid or whatever financial issues he had. Jay-Z was offering to buy his masters or sign him, right? And so it's like, well, all of the stuff that we saw happen last year with Nicki Minaj alleges that Jay-Z is using Megan Thee Stallion to go against her, to take her down, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And then you have Jay-Z, who allegedly took the opportunity away from Lil Wayne to perform at the Super Bowl. And then you also have Jay-Z, who is allegedly behind and or gassing and or helping Kendrick Lamar in his takedown of Drake, right? And so Jay-Z is allegedly behind all of that, but Jay-Z is also the same man that Wayne ran to. He had no choice to run to when Birdman fucked him over. And so if you're still watching this, I want to say thank you. Please like the video. But I want my stance on Young Money to be very clear. The breakdown in Young Money is truly Birdman's fault. And it hurts my heart to say this because I'm such a fan of Birdman, not of his music, but just like of his boss personality. However, I have to take myself out of that because y'all, you really did fuck over the whole label and you fucked over the whole generation. And you are the reason why they cannot stand on their own and why they cannot support each other. Because when you took away Wayne's money and you lied to him and didn't let him put out his albums and stuff like that, you left him vulnerable. The only person that he could turn to for help is the same person who's trying to take them down. And so it's like now you have where the barbs come in, where things happen in the industry against Nicki Minaj and Wayne, nor Drake or any of the men in Young Money. None of them take up for her. And it's because of that. It's because how could Wayne possibly speak up against Jay-Z when, nigga, I gave you $10 million to pay off your taxes? You know who you talking to? You better fix your motherfucking mouth. Wayne is forever son by Jay-Z because of Birdman. Wayne, he wasn't even strong enough to be his own artist to put his own music out. So how could he possibly be a strong enough boss to support Nicki and Drake in their endeavors and their dealings with the industry that wasn't going right? Thank God Drake and Nicki have always been in a great position financially that we do know about, but their own boss was fucked over by his boss. So if your grandfather fucks over your father, what does that leave you with? Birdman is lucky that Nicki has never come out and spoken out against him. She's always, gave him respect and said that he's always supported her and stuff like that. And I do believe that. But making sure that the kids are good means making sure that their father was good. And you didn't do that. And that's why we're in the position that we're in now. That's why the downfall of Young Money is really credited to Birdman. And that right there, to me, needs to be investigated more. And we have to be honest. And that's why I'm super honest when it comes to the people that I actually love and fuck with in this industry, because it's true. Young Money no longer exists. Wayne even went on to sign newer artists like Mellow Racks, and nothing ever spawned off from that. Those artists were never successful. Drake got his own label situation now, OVO. Nicki got her own label situation now with Heavy on it. Now that we're doing like a lot of this label talk, I want you guys to see like where my interest in this stems from. And that like when we talk about these labels and stuff, I talk about Nicki's label because that's what I know, right? I'm a fan of her. All of these major artists have labels, from Beyonce to Wayne, Drake, Nicki, J. Cole. And J. Cole's label is falling apart. Beyonce's artists are non-existent, not doing anything, not really releasing music like that, or not being supported in the way that they need to be supported. You have to really see, and I have to also remember that like it's really hard to be a label CEO, especially when you're still an active artist, and we all know that. But we also have to recognize that like, hey, Nicki Minaj isn't the only one that's struggling. Wayne struggled as well. Drake struggled as well, because Drake's artists will never be bigger than he was. And that was what's special about Young Money, is that Wayne found two superstars in their own right that had no relation to each other. That person said Wayne had the right people. We are back. Thank you so much for tuning into another video on my channel. I'm Destiny. If you're interested in a label talk, if you're interested in Young Money, Cash Money, Nicki Minaj, bitch, all right, like just music business shit in general and how the artists like interact with everything, the business, the politics that go into the top level of hip hop, and why all of these rappers is moving wonky, corny, and doing crazy ass shit, yo, make sure you subscribe to the channel because that's all the fuck I be getting into over here, all right? And that's why it says, I think they both became so majorly successful on their own that they just didn't know what to do with them. How could Wayne, serve them in the best capacity when he had nothing? You cannot pour from an empty glass. And that's what I want people to understand. And so I would love if one day, like both Drake and Nicki could open up and talk about like that time in Young Money or their experiences in Young Money and where they felt the cracks were. Because had there not been any cracks in Young Money, they would be super united. We would have had a joint tour and album already. Something that we all look forward to. But Birdman, I'm really going to need you to take accountability for this, because it's not right what you did. And we're lucky that Lil Wayne is really forgiving person. And you see they're now back doing business together, going on tour for Louisiana Fest. Because of Wayne, you got money in your pocket. Now, Birdman said he'll always be good. He makes $20 million off of streaming alone off their catalogs and stuff like that. And that's fine. But you see, Wayne still got to be out here working. Wayne still doing verses. He's still doing features. Wayne could have had something to do with his financial troubles as well. But Birdman, it seems like you were doing a lot as well. You were doing some shiesty shit behind the scenes. You and Slim, that other nigga who don't talk. Yeah, Birdman and Slim, I got a lot of questions for y'all. We gonna have to talk. Birdman, I need you to call me. And so if you haven't heard, Lil Wayne's new album, The Carter 6, is set to be released on June 6, 2025. I really hope that this shit actually comes out because Wayne be teasing albums for years. Like, it's seriously annoying, seriously. And so I hope that this actually does come out. I'm always going to be interested in the history of Young Money, the future of the Young Money artists and stuff like that. And I hope that one day they could really have internal discussions and really get to the bottom of what went wrong between them and the business and the label structure, so that hopefully we can get to an album or a tour. Because I just feel like, along with what happened with Birdman and Wayne, Drake and Nicki have also had their issues allegedly. And that's why I feel like it would kind of be fake for them to just all of a sudden do some album and some tour together, because we can see now the cracks in Young Money. And by what's happening now, we can piece the puzzles together to understand what really happened and what went wrong. And it's a lot of real shit, as the Barb say, like why they don't F with Drake. I think that Nicki has always extended an olive branch, because Drake is really, for the most part, always on her albums. Like, she literally begs him for songs. That's how Needle came, right? Because that was Drake's song. She asked for it and he gave it to her. Nicki is always sort of willing to work, I hope that the men can one day come together. Not that we need this to happen, because they're all doing their own things in their own right, but just for the sake of history for the fans. Like, it's really sad that they can't stick together and they can't be unified, because them together, along with the fans, the real big three, with the fans together, we could take down Jay-Z and Roc Nation and TDE and whoever else want to buck up, want to step the fuck up. Ho, it's Young Money till the death of me. If you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate you so much. Send all positive, like energy to all of the artists that are affiliated. And if you're watching as well, I really appreciate you. Please like the video. Please turn on all notifications when you subscribe, because I can't wait to see you in the next one.